everyone, welcome to Lagos Housewife Family Kitchen. Another episode of Eat Natural, Live Healthy. You see the way I'm smiling? I know I'm always smiling in my videos, but today's smile is very, very special because I want to teach you how to make a soup, African soup, Igbo soup, that has become one of my most favorite soups. My brother's fiancée, she's from Anambra, Achalla. She taught me how to make this soup. Ofe Arugbe. Now, it is made like bitter leaf soup, but instead of bitter leaves, they use scent leaves. I was so excited when she taught me, and when I made it, hey, everybody in my family loves it. Even the day I gave it to my neighbor, her husband was like, he has never tasted soup like this before. It's so delicious. Igbo people, you sabi how to cook soup. You are very creative with soup. So many of you have seen me talk about it online. I used it for my Christmas cooking. I've used it for so many festive cookings. And many people have been asking me, show us the recipe. So I want to show you today. The name is Ofe Arugbe. It's from Achalla in Anambra State. So my darling wife, Doris, thumbs up. I should pay you for this video. This video that I am using to shine. You are the one that taught me how to make the soup. So let's get started. But as you know, African soups, they take muscle, they take strength, they are in batches. It's not something you just vex and do. So it's step by step. And the first step is boiling the cocoyam. I have my cocoyam here. That is what will be used for thickening the soup. Now, I'm going to boil it, then I'll peel it and blend it. I know it's normal pounding, but allow me to blend. Thank you. Or rather, process it. So let me add water to this. And I'll put that on fire. Now that the cocoyam is boiling, we are moving on to part 2 to boil the meat. And I'm going to show you all the things I'll add to it to make an amazing meat stock. I'm using beef today. You can use goat meat or ram meat or even chicken. That's entirely up to you. Stockfish. I'm just using the stockfish pieces. Onions. Yes, I use onions in my cooking and a lot of it. I love it. It's optional. Salt. Holy Spirit spice. That's a tablespoon. Blended fish, not crayfish. You can use crayfish if you like, but it's blended fish I have available now. This is dry iru powder. A tablespoon of that also. Uziza. Add your water. You can be adding more water as needed. Stir. Then, on top of this, I'll add my dry fish. Let me tell you a funny story about dry fish. Growing up, we never used to break our fish. The way I placed it in the pot, that's the way we used to place it. Then when it has finished cooking, they don't allow it break. My mom will just use the spoon to remove it into a plate. So when we are eating, she will now put the full fish beside it for my dad, and all of us will be sitting, watching him, and he'll be giving us pieces. So the first time after growing up and leaving home and everything, the first time I went to someone's house and the person was about cooking soup and the person was breaking the fish, I was like, why are you breaking it? She said then she has to clean the inside. I said, why would the fish be dirty? Because our own fish, my grandma used to smoke it herself. So it was never dirty. She would clean everything before smoking. She said it will be dirty now. I said, no, we don't used to break it and everything, but that's how I found out that so many people break their fish and everything. The way I grew up, we don't break it. Now, sometimes I break, sometimes I don't break. But when you have clean fish, this fish, the person I source my fish from is from my area. We know how to do smoked fish very clean. So no need to break this one. Once it's done, I'll just lift it out of the soup and I'll serve it separately with the food. That's how I do mine. Back to my soup. Now, I cover and put on fire. Next on the list, Part 3 is pepper. So I'll be blending pepper and onions to use for the soup. I know many people are used to cooking their soup with dry pepper, as in the dry grinded pepper. Try using fresh peppers. It gives a different taste and it makes the color so rich and vibrant. Just try it if you are not used to it. So for this, I'm using a few pieces of yellow and red habanero, tatache, shombo, and onions. So let me blend. This is my pepper, rough blending, not smooth. You can see that. So let me set this aside. What part are we on now? Part 4, don't worry, it's worth it, I promise you. The scent leaves. Now what I'm going to do is to shred it with the food processor. Then I will wash it almost like bitter leaf. You know the way you do the bitter leaf washing? That's what we're going to do. But we'll first of all shred it in the food processor. And I have my food processor here. I'll add a little water. See that how it has shredded it. That's what we want. So let me just take this. You can see that how it has been processed. Now what we want to do is to wash it to reduce a bit of the intensity of the scent leaves taste. So you add water, then you simply do like this. And you sieve the water away. So you are just going to repeat this about 3 times. Pour water, do it like this, then you sieve the water away. Now let me tell you something about the water. This water is full of herbal goodness. In fact, what I normally do, the water we use to wash the scent leaves is what I use to boil the meat. But because I didn't start with that first, that's why I added just regular water. But normally, this is not something that was taught me. It's just me that I looked at. How can I be wasting such water full of herbal goodness? So now that I'm not using it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it in a bottle and I'll use it to cook another time. You can use it to boil yam, to boil rice, to cook soup or anything. It's rich, it's healthy. Don't waste the nutrients. This is it after washing and squeezing. You can see this is what I'm left with. That is what we'll use to make the soup. So let me go check my cocoyam now if it's soft enough. Part, what is this? At this rate, we've run out of parts. But this is the cocoyam. It is soft and has been peeled. So right now I'm going to use the food processor to process it, because as I told you, it will be used to thicken the soup. So I'll process it now. Look at that. All that is remaining now is to now add everything to our meat and soup will be ready. My meat and fish are done and ready. I've removed my fish as I told you I would. So the meat is ready, the meat stock is waiting. It's now time to bring everything together. The blended cocoyam, the blended pepper mix, palm oil, iru, that's my own addition. Iru is not part of the ingredients my brother's fiance gave me, but because I'm Yoruba and I love iru, I'm including iru. What she recommended is ogiri, and I will also be adding ogiri and iru. So let's move over to my pots. Yeah. First, the iru, and I like using plenty iru. Should I add more? Yes, let me add more. Then, the pepper mix. Let me add a little water to rinse it. Okay. Palm oil. Ogiri. I should have mixed it with water, but no problem. I'll mix it like this. Then I'll start adding the cocoyam bit by bit. It will dissolve and thicken the soup. I didn't use all of the cocoyam, I just used half. If I use all, it will be too thick. So cover it and let it dissolve and boil. Time to check our soup. Ooh, look at that. You can see the cocoyam has dissolved. Yes, this is the thickness I want. Not too thin, not too thick. So at this point, reduce the fire and start putting your scent leaves. As little or as plenty as you want. Totally up to you. Let me stir and check. Okay, I still want more. Okay, I think that should be enough. My husband said I should add more. Okay, said I should add everything so that we can enjoy it very well. Okay. I won't cover it again, but I'll just leave it on low heat for 2 minutes and it's done. This is it, my Ofe Arugbe from Achalla in Anambra State. Very delicious. Please try this. It's so delicious, so delicious. Your family will not be able to have enough of it. Let me just give you a few tips of what I do to relieve me when I'm cooking soups like this. I normally have cocoyam blended in bulk in Ziploc bag in the freezer. What I do is some days when I'm less busy, I'll just pack plenty cocoyam, boil it, peel it, and blend it with the food processor. Then I portion it in Ziploc bags and I keep in the freezer. Then also the scent leaves. This is not just for scent leaves. It's for any kind of leaves. I do it frequently, even for efo, for bitter leaf and all those leaves, ugu and co, that I use for different soup. I cut them, I blanch them. Blanching means just dipping them in boiling water for like 2 minutes, then bringing them out and dipping them in cold water. Then you squeeze it out and just put it in Ziploc bag. So I do that for the efinrin. The efinrin doesn't need blanching. That's the nchao, that's the efinrin scent leaves. What I do is I wash it the way I showed you, then I squeeze it and put it in Ziploc bag, and I keep it in the freezer. So any day I just want to cook soups like this, all I need to do is just bring the things together. I don't need to do everything from the beginning. I only showed you everything from in detail because this is the first time I'm showing you this recipe. But normally if I'm doing it, I already have all these things sorted out. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you try this. You will love it. And if you try it, please tag me and show me, give me your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think. And I look forward to seeing you again with another delicious recipe. I'm looking forward to having recipes from different countries and states in Africa that you can teach me and I'll show on my YouTube page. So if you have anything like that, just buzz me. I'll be glad to try out your recipe. Till next time, it's Lagos Housewife as always. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Ciao.